Counting you down to the start of the 2024 season for the Aggies. You're locked on to the Zone's coverage of Mountain West Conference Media Day. Live from Las Vegas on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hope you're all having a great day today.
Is there some type of standard way to react when what happened to us happened?
Oh, boy. That was bad.
So, Scotty, me, and Greg Wrubell, we were at dinner last night. Having a great time. Everything was going well.
Yep.
I had a white shirt on. In fact, that's a new white shirt that I just bought.
Nice white T-shirt. Kind
of a fitted white shirt. It was about $35, which, I don't typically spend a lot of money on a white shirt, but I was like, yeah, I liked it. And one of the servers walks by and has a full dish of buffalo sauce. And the buffalo sauce slides off his tray, and it hits the ground right next to our table, and it splatters up on Greg's shirt. It splattered up on my white shirt, and it got on your pants.
Got on my khakis, yep.
And so we were sitting there like, all right, so this is a mess. This is ridiculous. And there was like a awkward conversation of, hey, anything you can do? And it's like, yeah, here's some club soda, which didn't help at all. And I'm sure that buffalo sauce isn't going to come out of the white shirt.
Probably not.
And whatever. And Scotty mentioned, hey, look, can we at least talk to the manager? And manager comes out and was like, well, can I get you an appetizer? And Scotty's like, no, we just want pizza. And he kind of awkwardly walks off, and they didn't do anything. And it's like, well, what's the standard? What's the protocol for a restaurant that spills stuff on a?
And I wasn't even aiming for like you don't have to wipe out the entire bill, but I mean, a good chunk of it would have been nice.
Yeah, do something nice. It got sauce all over everything.
Yeah, I mean, your shirt took the brunt of it. There's no doubt about that.
So, I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to handle that. I wonder how our listeners would handle it.
And you don't want to be the complete jack-A.
Right.
And throw a fit, but you're also like, hey, come on.
Right. And
your guy screwed up. Can you make it a little bit, can we even things up here a little bit?
If I didn't love their pizza so much, I'd be more upset about it.
Yeah.
But I do love their pizza.
Yeah. Hey, your life moves fast. Quantum Fiber Internet is faster. Move up to tomorrow's speed today. QuantumFiber.com. That's QuantumFiber.com. All right, so set the scene. We're going to play this Deion Sanders podium stuff, but you said it was pretty surreal yesterday with him.
Yeah, it was. So Deion went to the podium, and he did his podium work, and then kind of got off the podium, and he did one or two other sets. I think he did a little bit with BYU because Tom Holmoe was his position coach when he was with the 49ers. Do I understand? Am I understanding that right?
Correct. Yep.
So he and Tom Holmoe had a relationship, and he did a little bit with BYU TV. After that, he went up into the stands because we're there in Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. He was 2 rows up, and he sat right behind Radio Row. And he had a handler that sat in front of him and made it pretty apparent that he's just going to sit there and be visible, but he's not going to sit there and be available. And it was kind of interesting because everybody obviously is interested in talking to Deion Sanders. But being visible but not available was kind of a strange way to go about it. And here we are at Mountain West Conference Media Day, and everybody's available, and we could talk with pretty much anybody across the board, and it's friendly and great conversation. Yeah. It just was awkward. It was a different way to handle business.
Well, you talk about awkward and you talk about aggressive. Here is Deion Sanders from the podium from yesterday.
Cincinnati game sold out. God bless that. Can't wait that they're announcing that. To you all that say we only go in the portal, we signed 17 high school players last year and 13 played. So when we sign a kid out of high school, the expectancy is for him to play. All you kids in high school right now, when we sign you, we want you to play. 17 kids, 13 played. We played a total of 20 freshmen last season, including 7 walk-ons. So if you are a freshman and you walk-on, you have an opportunity to play. Academically, 2024, second highest GPA for the football team ever. 2023, highest GPA for the football team ever. That's AP. That means at the prime. Okay. NFL experience on the staff, 16 coaches and staff with NFL experience, 159 seasons of NFL experience, which is unbelievable. Impact, school application rose 20%, including 18% out of state. Economic impact is crazy. I don't even want to get into that. Exposure as well. Now, let's get to what you want. Let's get to your questions.
All right, questions for Coach. Please raise your hand. We'll get you a handheld microphone. First question will come here, first row on the right-hand side, far right end.
You look good in your red coat, man. I love it. I love it.
I appreciate it. Deion, welcome to Las Vegas. Yesterday, Commissioner, several coaches, players, the enthusiasm of having you in the Big 12. Two-part question. When you look at what you've done, Jackson State, first year at Colorado, the accomplishments and the eyes and attention that you've brought. Mm-hmm. Have you taken the moment to sort of sit back and appreciate? I know you've given a lot of love to your players and programs, but have you taken time to appreciate the worth and what you brought, part one? Part two,
you got one at a time. I'm 56. You can't do that. One at a time. Give me one at a time, all right? Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for just understanding and recognizing those things. I don't have time to sit back and watch what was done because I'm so busy doing what I do. So I don't have time even though my arms can reach that back to pat myself on the back, I ain't got time for it. You don't like it anyway. Every once in a while I do it because I know y'all ain't gonna do it. So I don't have time for it, but I appreciate it, and I'm thankful of the calling that God has on my life. I really am. Now we go to part two.
Part two, with what you brought to the programs in the historic black colleges and to Colorado, do you feel an obligation with whom you are to perform at a higher level or coach at a higher level?
Yeah, yes. I'm judged on a different scale. My wins are totally different than your wins. Your wins, you just judge in football. That's why I have to start out and give you education and academics and so forth. I have to give you those things so you understand there's a greater scope. I can't win 9 games and our GPA suffers. Our GPA can't be high, but we lose another 8 games. We can't not go and grab high school players and you got a bunch of guys that in the portal, out of the portal that's getting incarcerated. My wins are different. We have to win in every area. That's the way we're judged. And I'm cool with that because we come a little different. So the expectation is greater. But it's not just football. It's been like that all my life. I've always had a greater expectation for myself. So the expectation you have for me would never outweigh the expectation I have of myself. Thank you. That's a wonderful question.
All right, we'll go to the left side, third row in the middle.
Hey, Deion, Colin Wilson with the Action Network over here. One question. What led you to the hiring of Robert Livingston come from the
Oh, my God. Just the opportunity. I mean, we needed the defensive coordinator, and I'm a pro, man. And that's nothing against the college coaches because we have some phenomenal college coaches, especially in this conference. But I'm a pro, so I like the relationships and the thought process of a pro. And Coach Livingston was recommended to me by a few pros that I'm well familiar with and I trust, Mike Zimmer being one of them. And his interview process and his consistency and his thought process and his relatability just placed him well above the other applicants. I'm happy I made the decision. And when we look back on it, first of all, I pray to God that I could keep him. Because I feel like we're gonna kick butt, we're gonna win, and he's gonna be a head coach in college or pros or whatever he endeavors because he's that good. So I'm thankful and I'm happy for him. But he is awesome. When I tell you awesome, he is totally awesome.
Okay, we'll go over here to the right side in the first row.
We got another guy on the other side of the ball named Pat Shermer that's pretty darn good as well. I mean, really good. And his compatibility and the relationship with Shador is amazing. And what they plan on doing this season, I can't wait to see it myself. Yes, sir.
Coach Prime, my name is Arnie Bazemore with Vegas Sports Today.
Yeah.
I want to officially welcome you to our amazing city of Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Now, my question
I don't gamble, though, so you ain't getting that out of me.
All right.
Okay.
With respect to legacy and impact, what legacy and or impact do you hope to have on the world of sports as a player and or as a coach?
Both, really. I don't care. Like how you see me, how you look at me. I'm more apt to understand how I see me and how I look at me and how God sees me and how he looks at me. So really, I don't care how you see me. It's never going to be enough. Nothing I do is ever going to be enough. So I'm cool with that. I understand that is life and that's how life is going to be. But I plan on being a tremendous blessing to as many people that I can bless, especially those probably 120 young men that puts on this CU helmet and go out there and to play for our school in our program. So, and to sum it all up, man, I just want to be known as a great dad. I think I got 3 sons here today, and I just want to be a great dad to them. That's it. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you.
All right, we'll stay on the right side. We'll go about halfway back on the aisle.
Coach Dom Izzo, WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota. You're opening up with North Dakota State. They're a known FBS killer. Tell me what you know about the Bison.
They're good. They're really darn good. And I'm mad at Rick right now for putting them on the schedule to open up with them. Like, can you give me a layup or something? Like, those guys are wonderful. Their staff has always been amongst the best. Many people have matriculated from that staff to go to higher levels. Those kids play their butts off. They're tough. They don't make many mistakes. They're accustomed to winning. They don't give a darn about being at home or on the road. That does not faze them whatsoever. We just can't wait to see it. I know it's a national television game. I believe it's a Thursday night game. Hopefully not too late, but we can't wait to see them. It's going to be a phenomenal game, phenomenal matchup. But that program is second to none.
All right, we'll go to the left side, 6th row on the far left side.
Stuart Mandel from The Athletic. Going into year 2, what are some of the things that give you confidence that this season can end a lot better than 4, Nate?
When I see the offensive line and the way they train, the way they work, the way they go about their job. When I see the defensive line coaches and the way they're on their kids and the way they're demanding excellence and the way these young men are working and the athletes that they are and the bodies that they have and they've developed right now. When I see the receiving core staying out the practice to work with their quarterbacks coming over there on off days to work with one another. When I see the running backs doing the same, led by a former walk-on, Charlie Offerdahl. You know, when I see the special teams, Mark Vassett is here right now. I think he's a darn pro, and Mata that don't miss, and Jace Feely and those guys that they can't wait till their time. They understand special teams mean that we're special. You know, when I see the secondary, shoot, and they get out of bed and want to play man-to-man coverage. I love it. And Shiloh can't wait to hit somebody. You know, Cam Selman, so many of the guys, the change made from safety to linebacker with Trevor, I mean, and I really think this young man is going to be the next Brian Urlacher. I think he's going to make that transition from safety to linebacker and be dominant. Like, I just see the want and the fire and desire from our young men, and I can't wait till you get an opportunity to see it as well. So I'm very optimistic on what we have on our plate this year.
All right, we'll go to the right side, 3rd row, right in the middle.
Phillip Dukes, the 5-star flex on 3. Coach Sanders.
My dog.
As the father of 3 Division I football players, what did you learn during their process as a parent that's helped you formulate your recruiting style as a head coach?
Great question. First and foremost, I've sat in all seats. The parent seat, being recruited as the kid, now being the coach. That helps me tremendously when I'm recruiting. When I'm understanding what the parent is thinking, what the kid is thinking, now what the coach desires to want to know. It's been a tremendous asset for me to understand those facets of this new recruiting age that is impacted tremendously by NILs and collectives. So I love it. Sometimes I don't like it, but I love it, and I love that these kids are being compensated somewhat for what they bring to the table. I don't want them to put the bag before the game, because if you have the game, the bag is going to come. I want them to understand that. But I just don't want to take away from the purity of this wonderful game that we have. College football is phenomenal, man. This conference is phenomenal. Look at where we are. You got to be kidding me, man. I'm a brother from Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm sitting up here in the darn end zone in Las Vegas talking to the whole darn country about a childish game that I played when I was a shawty. Don't you understand how powerful and how wonderful it is? And I'm so darn thankful to be here. So I try to relay that to all our young men. This is a moment, man. You better maximize it, and let's go get it. But thank you. It's a wonderful question.
All right, we'll stay on the right side. We'll go halfway back in the center aisle. And we're going to interview
after this, right? I got you today, right? Okay.
All righty.
We'll go back halfway back on the right side on the center aisle.
Coach Prime, Alex Blackburn, College Football Dogs. With all the media attention surrounding your program, how do you stay focused on the main goal, which is winning games? How do you keep yourself and your team focused?
Well, you keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing never should transfer itself. Winning is what we're here for. As far as the focus and intention, I think ever since I stepped into Florida State in '85, it's been like that for me. This ain't new to me. I'm not new to this. Like we say in the hood, I'm true to this. So this is new to some of you all, and you want us to change. We're not going to change. We're going to try to do things being smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. That's what we're relaying to all our young men. But the cameras and the lights, I think, I haven't seen one kid here today that said he didn't like that. He may not like the process, but he likes the package that you wrap him up in and you put him out there. All these kids are excited about the EA Sports game, right? Their scores and their levels. They want attention. They want affection. They want love. They want adoration. Adulation, I'm sorry. Yeah, we give you that. But you got to work first so you can understand the consistency thereof. It's going to take you to where you want to go and retire mom and dad, if that's what you please.
All right, we'll stay over here on the right side, third row right in the middle.
Hi, Coach.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You go, girl. I know you.
Nikki Edwards, CU Sports Report. We talked during spring and throughout last season the importance on stopping the run. You look at a guy like B.J. Green in your defensive line.
Yeah.
How is he going to be a leader in achieving that goal?
B.J. Green is already a leader. Do you know that B.J. Green played for me when he was 5 through 7 years old with Truth in Dallas, South Dallas. So he's been a part of my life for a long time, and they raised him right at Arizona State, and for him to come over now, it's phenomenal. His work ethic, the way he approaches and attacks the game, it's phenomenal. His want, his desire, his will. I just got finished doing an interview, and they say, well, you have 2 young men that are projected probably to be the top 5 picks. I said, yeah, but we want 4 in the first round. And the only way that's going to happen is we win, and they're dominant. And I think B.J. Green could be one of those guys. And I think he will be one of those guys because he wants it that much. Shane, Round Bill, Amari McNeil, just to name a few. Anquan is Tofik, Chidozie. TC, that's my dog from Arkansas. I mean, we have some guys inside there that can flat out do it. Outside, we have some guys that can go get the quarterback as well. We just want to be in the position to allow them to be the best that they can be. And that's one thing that Coach Livingston is doing well. He's not coming in trying to remake everything and reinvent the wheel. He's like, let's find out what these guys can do well and let them do what they do. And that's what we're going to do. That's the formula. I've told you guys, that's what we do, okay? That's how we coming.
All right, final question. Far left side, about
Final
8
question.
running
I'm just having a good time. Now you got to go?
backs. Run out of time.
We got a shot clock. Joey, did they give you a shot clock?
How you doing, Coach?
How you doing?
Omir Khan, TG Sports here. I have a quick question regarding building a winning culture at CU.
What does that mean? What does a winning culture mean? I want to know what that means, because you got to be a winner to understand what that winning culture means. Everybody want to know about the culture. The culture. What is culture?
To me, culture is day in, day out, putting in the work.
Lifestyle.
On game day. Yep.
Lifestyle.
Yep.
Okay.
So progressing in that general area right there as far as the winning culture side. Last year you guys started off strong. You did kind of fizzled out a little bit towards the end of the year, but I remember you still talking about continuing to build that winning culture day in, day out. Do you feel the guys that you brought in this year are going to be able to help you fill those gaps?
I don't talk about culture that much, so that wasn't me. But I do talk about the consistency thereof of the goal and being consistent in whatever you do. So if you have a team that got to be a little more physically tough, you got to develop that. If you got mentally tough, strategically satisfying, and from the coaching staff's point of view, you got to understand that. But culture, everybody's on this word, and I don't understand this word one bit, and somebody got to help me understand what that word culture means. An environment, understanding of winning, you want that. I feel like I'm a winner. I know I'm a winner. So whatever I display, however I go about my job, my work, my business, my personal life, that's of a winner. That's all I know. I don't know anything else but that. So in due time, in due process, we're going to reach that goal, because we're going to get there, because I know I'm going to get there. And I'm not going by myself.
There he is.
It's actually an interesting last statement.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to get there because I know I'm going to get there. I'm a winner. He had to digest a lot of losing last season, Scotty.
Yeah, a lot.
And I think he's going to have to digest a lot of losing this season. I actually think this season is going to be almost identical to what last season was for him. And what I mean by that is probably going to beat Nebraska, probably going to beat Colorado State, probably going to beat North Dakota State, and probably going to open up against Baylor and get a win.
Yeah.
That's his first 4 games. After that, he'll find one win, because he goes Central Florida, Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, then Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State.
Ooh. That ain't going to end well.
There's one win in that group for him.
2 at best.
2 at best.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 2 at best. So we're looking between a 4 and 6 win season for him.
Yeah.
We're looking at him fighting for bowl eligibility. And then we stand back and just take a look at what the patience of Colorado really is, because he's gone through to open up his statements, he went through his economic impact for that area. And I'm sure it's great. You know, that spring game where they actually sold tickets and they sold out, that was nuts 2 years ago. They did not sell tickets for this year's spring game, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
It was open gates and people got to go in and they didn't have to pay for it. So we'll see, does the allure and excitement, does it wear off after a couple of 4 or 5 win seasons? And then how much attrition do you want to show as a university? Because, yeah, he brings excitement, but he also brings a bit of, I don't know what the word is. What's the word, Scotty? There's a lot of
it's not
him
turmoil. It's
with, like, all he talked about was Shador and Shiloh.
Yeah.
His 2 boys that play on the team, and it's like, all right, bud. Okay, so your sons are great, but it takes at least 45 guys that are all clicking, that are all working their butts off for your 2 sons to even be slightly successful. And he was talking about trying to get 2 to 4 of the first 5 NFL draft picks in there, thinking that Shador will be up there. Well, Shador is a talent. He's a beautifully talented individual. But he's going to hit some defenses that are going to flat out embarrass him.
Yep.
They're going to knock him on his butt. Because I don't know how much Deion actually went out and changed what that guy asked him, changed the culture. The guy asked him about culture. The culture was bad. The culture has been bad. Firing guys left and right. Moving guys in and out of the transfer portal.
Yep. Just flat out cutting kids with no regard to their future.
No regard to their future. Putting blame on the offensive line and not and maybe that's not him, but that's what the culture is, Scotty. Mm-hmm. Culture is what everybody else is doing around you.
Yep.
That's what culture is.
Yep.
And
whether you intentionally foster it or not, it's on your watch.
Yeah.
And so if it's there, it's on you.
So Deion wanted to take that guy into the philosophy of culture. We all know what the guy's asking. He's like, hey, look, there's a lot of negativity that's surrounding your program right now. There's kids that feel like they were unjustly moved out and let go and yanked scholarships, and the way that they were handled in particular, and things that were said in locker rooms are starting to leak out into the general public, and those things haven't been really good. So what is your culture? And he's like, oh, look, and the way he wrapped it up, I'm a winner. And I know we're going to win because they're going to win because I'm going to win. And Scotty, we've watched a lot of God-given winners become losers as coaches.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you can't just will it, man.
And you just can't assume it because you've always won.
I thought that he would have learned more from last year and humbled himself and said, hey, everybody circle the wagons. What we're going to do is we're going to drop our heads, shut our mouth. We're going to go do our media circuits. You know, we're not going to point out specific people, say, hey, man, we're doing that interview with you after, huh? Like, look, everybody's out there looking for the interview. Everybody wants to talk to Deion Sanders. You're right. He is a winner. He's enamoring. Like, he draws us to him. And then there's this weird barrier. And I'm now to the point where I'm like, I actually want to see him humbled.
Yeah.
And humbled again.
Well.
And humbled more.
And it's probably going to happen again. Hans and Scotty, 140. Take a break. Come back. You're listening to 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, live here at Mountain West Conference Media Day. We'll be back in the station coming up tomorrow, and we'll put a recap on everything that we've been a part of over the last few days. So, big Friday edition of the show coming up tomorrow. Hans and Scotty, as again, live here in Las Vegas, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
The Jazz should hire me, just to warn you of the curse of wearing number 22. You should never do it. No one's ever been good at the Utah Jazz wearing number 22. Morris Allman, Curtis Borchardt, John Drew got banned from the league.
Wow.
He joined the Jazz wearing number 20, switched to 22, and within 12 months was banned from the league for drug use. It's a cursed number. Jeff Green, Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay's the worst player the Jazz have ever signed. He wore 22. Kyle Filipowski. If you don't hit 14 threes in the summer league, you got to change it to like 31 or something and channel Reggie Miller. But you got to get off 22. Hey, that's my number. When I go to Utah Jazz media camp, I wear 22, and I'm the worst player there. So, like, I promise you, I know what it feels like to wear number 22. I know what it feels like to wear number 22 for the Utah Jazz, and it stinks. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, man, it's over before it started for Flip.
Hear Jake Scott and Ben Anderson every day from 10 to noon on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Live from Las Vegas, this is the Zone's exclusive coverage of Mountain West Conference Media Day on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're live here at Mountain West Conference Media Day. It's been a fun day today, Hans.
It's been a great day and awesome opportunity to catch up with a lot of great coaches. You know, I don't know as much about the Mountain West Conference as far as the competitive end of things, but Boise State was picked to win it, right?
Correct.
Utah State was picked in that seven range. Is there a dark horse out there in all of this?
I think they're anywhere from 1 to 8 could win this thing, honestly. I think Utah State's got enough talent to win the conference this year.
Oh, man.
Now,
After
granted, with all
going on,
with the black cloud that's
I would love
hovering
to see
above that university right now, it might be tough to do. But talent-wise, it would not surprise me one bit to see Utah State be right up there near the top.
Having gone through different dramas during different seasons, it always goes one way or the other.
Yeah, yep.
It will not stay what it would have been. It's either going to be worse or it's going to be better.
Yeah.
But it's not going to stay what it would have been with Blake Anderson.
Yeah,
and everything's status quo. So if this team, if they laser focus and they shut out all the noise, sometimes you can insulate it and all of a sudden you become all you got.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really good thing sometimes. And the phones get put away and the schoolwork goes away and girlfriends go away, and all of a sudden it's like, geez, all you got is each other, and it's a football season, and you pay attention, and let's go get it. I actually think that there's a good chance that happens nowadays because kids are so much more focused on the money aspect, and you'll do anything for money.
Yep.
And I doubt Nate Dreiling will handle it like this. If I'm Nate, I'm pulling everybody in. I'm like, look, guys, I get it, but at this moment, we're in this together, but we're all out for ourselves. We're in this together, but understand that the product we put on the field, it represents each of us.
Yeah.
I've got as much, if not more, to lose in all this than you do. You have those names on the back of your jerseys. You have a ton to lose in this. If we all go out there and we wet the bed, the next coach that comes in, he's going to chop you all.
Yep.
Or let's say we have a great season. I get the interim tag lifted and a nice shiny contract. I promote every single one of you. I make sure that your names and your image and your likeness all gets the money and the advertisement it deserves, and we all build together. You know, there's a way to approach and attack this because these college kids now, they're in it for money.
Yeah. Yep.
They want money. They need money. And it's like, how much you want to grow, guys? Or what do you want to do? Do you want to drop your heads because Blake Anderson's not here, so we're all in trouble?
Yep. Eye in the sky doesn't lie. It'll sort you out pretty quick.
Oh, man. And so my hope is that they find the consistency in play calling.
Yeah.
Because Blake was a consistent play caller.
Yeah.
I love the way he called games.
Kyle Cephalo is going to have a big weight on his shoulder running the offense there at Utah State. All right, final break. Come back. We'll wrap this thing up. Get you ready for JJ and Alex straight ahead. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is DJ and PK.
BYU football coach Kalani Sitake.
I was just telling Jake when I got on that you guys are usually in a better mood towards the end of the show, you know. And I remember when I was a younger coach doing the early morning parts, you guys a little bit more ornery, especially PK, you know. So I'm glad to be on the prime spot with you guys, and I'm going to enjoy this interview.
Oh, he's giving me up. I've already enjoyed the interview. I think Kalani's work here is done. I just mentioned that earlier this week, and PK lost his mind. I'm not.
That was back then. The point I'm making is I can be just as crotchety now.
No, I think you're in a bad mood now because it's not golf weather right now. But as soon as this weather picks up and moves on, we can open the golf courses. We will get PK at his best.
This guy knows me.
He's dropping truth bombs left and right here. This is Kalani's psychological profile of PK. Spot on.
Catch DJ and PK mornings from 6 to 10 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Cheer. That's right, yeah! On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart.
Well, Hans, time to pack it on up and head on back to Salt Lake. Be back up on the Wasatch Front tomorrow after 3 days here in Las Vegas at the Big 12 and Mountain West Conference Media Day. To quote Kyle Whittingham, sometimes the best view of Las Vegas is in the rearview mirror. Well, he got in a little bit of trouble with that. You remember that?
No.
Yeah, he said that at a Vegas Bowl.
He said
press
sometimes
conference.
the best thing about Vegas is when it's in the rearview
mirror. Yeah, and then he had to apologize.
Oh, that's actually a great comment.
Yeah.
And it's how I feel. You and I were talking about it, man. I think I'm over it.
Yeah. I
think I'm well over it.
Yeah. Vegas used to be such a man. I'd set my watch to it every year. Can't wait to go. And now I'm like, now I can't wait to leave.
But
getting old sucks.
This has been a fantastic 3 days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I cannot wait for tomorrow to do a full recap because you get into these 3 days and you got coaches and you got angles and you don't really get to sit down and diagnose it all. Tomorrow you'll sit down and the two of us will go back to the drawing board and really diagnose everything that we took in, and we'll tell the stories and some of the off the mic conversations and some of our visual observations and some of our expectations. It's going to be a big day, and this also gives us the fuel to get us through the next 36 picks in our 60 and 60.
Yeah. Yep. Well, again, big thanks to the Big 12. Big thanks to the Mountain West. A lot of guests on the show today. If you missed any of them, go to our podcast feed. Go to KSLSports.com, or you just search Hands and Scotty on your podcasting platform of choice.
And also big thanks to Nate Dreiling, and big thanks to the station.
Oh, yeah.
For making sure that we have everything we need.
Don't be mad when you see the expense reports.
Please. But I do want to give them a lot of public gratitude because I've been a part of stations that did not do it this way. And I know that there are stations that are currently not doing it this way. And it's so nice to have all the necessary things from equipment to extra hands to people back in the booth. And to have our entire team down here, it made it a breeze. It was a dream to have PK and Jake and Ben and JJ and Alex and to have the crew all together. It took a lot. And so we really do appreciate Bonneville. We appreciate it from all the way from Tanya to Nate and
to
onward.
Lloyd back there working like crazy. Oh, wait. Never mind. Sorry.
Lloyd decided that this was the best week to take off. So we're not thanking him.
We love you, Lloyd. Hands and Scotty, that wraps it up for us. We'll be back up in Salt Lake tomorrow. We got complete recap of everything we've had over the last few days. But again, thanks to everyone who joined us. Big thanks to everyone who helped us out down here in Las Vegas as well. Back with you tomorrow. JJ and Alex next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.